Today, again, we are going to talk about one more topic in management, Indian Factory Act. Let us see the learning objectives behind this topic. After going through this presentation, you will be able to explain the purpose of the Industrial Act. You will be able to use different definitions to explain this act, and obviously, you will be able to understand or explain different provisions in Indian Factory Act. There are different types of industrial legislative acts that we have in our syllabus, among which we are going to focus on Indian Factory Act. But there are some more acts, legislative acts like Minimum Wages Act, Workman Compensation Act, Industrial Dispute Acts. Before going to talk about Indian Factory Act, I would like to request you to pause your video and write down why do we need the legislative acts in industrial management. Means just think about the need of these acts. Well, I'm sure you might have written your answer. Let us see if it is like this. Indian Factory Act is necessary to ensure health and safety of the workers as well as welfare of them. It ensures the enough facilities at the workplace and also talks about proper working environment or atmosphere at the workplace. It also provides the safety precautions necessary for the prevention of the accidents. Indian Factory Act, let us discuss about it. It was implemented in 1949, means after independence, and there were some amendments, means corrections, modifications or additions in it according to different requirements of the period, respectively 1962, 1976, 1986. And as we have talked about, the objective of this act or the need behind this act is to secure health, safety, welfare and different working conditions of the workers. Before going to talk about different provisions in the act, let us see the legal definitions of some important terms that are used in the act. Factory. Factory is any premises where 10 to 20 workers are there. 10 workers are there, especially if the power is used, and 20 workers where power is not required for different operations in the factory. Then occupier of the company or factory. Occupier is the person, means we can call him as an in charge or a director or their partner. He is a person who is ultimately responsible for control over different activities or affairs of the factory. Then people working in the factory, they are basically categorized into two types, like young people and adult people. Young ones are the children or adolescent. Child is basically person of less than 15 years of age, and the person whose age is between 15 to 18 years is known as an adolescent, whereas an adult is a person having age more than 18 years. Some more definitions. Worker is any person employed directly or indirectly, either for wages or without any wages, and he is involved in any manufacturing process or concern process in the company. Power, any energy other than animal or husbandry input. For example, electrical power is there or pneumatic power is there. Prime mover, prime mover is any device which generates or provides power, means electricity or power generators are there. Machinery is there. Machinery can be any device which transforms the given power into some kind of work. Manufacturing process can include making, repairing, pumping oils, generating power, printing, construction shapes. Means different kinds of activities are there in which manufacturing or some kind of making, repairing is done. The main provisions of this act, it starts with licensing and registration of the factories. Obviously, any factory owner or director has to go through some permissions in the written applications submitted to the different government agencies, and which also include the construction extension of the company. The director has to submit the proposal for permission to the government agencies, and it should be submitted with all the necessary documents or information like name of the factory, address of the factory, or even nature of manufacturing process, nature of power used, number of workers required, or type of work will be done. All this information is provided to the chief inspector at least 15 days in advance of the application. Let us talk about duties of the occupier. How the occupier should be responsible for various things in the factory. He has to look after cleanliness, then disposal of waste or effluents, ventilation, and uh, proper working conditions where temperature is maintained, where safety is taken into consideration. Dust and fumes are controlled, or they must be below control or below some limits by the government norms. Then overcrowding should be avoided, means proper specific working area should be defined or provided to the workers so that accidents can be avoided and their work is done sufficiently or safely. Then provision of adequate lighting, drinking water facilities, basic provisions related to health in the act. We have talked about some of them like cleanliness. For example, the company should be, or the industry premises should be whitewashed at least after 14 months, and there should be paint to the walls at least once in a 5 years. So this kind of cleanliness or uh, atmosphere should be maintained. Then disposal of wastes, we have talked about this. Ventilation and temperature, dust, taking care or disposing the dust and fumes properly. Then artificial humidification if necessary. Overcrowding, this is what we were talking about, providing specific area for the workers. According to this act, minimum 4.2 cubic meter space for each worker should be provided by the by the managers of the factory. Proper lighting system should be there. Then drinking water facilities should be provided. Latrines and urinals should be there, adequately available in the premises. Then provisions related to safety. Many provisions, especially safety is a very big or huge topic. We already had some personal means topics, presentations on this, means like personal protective equipments, accidents, nature of accidents, and how to avoid those accidents. We already had a great discussion on this. Specifically, the workers should be provided safe environment, and for that, fencing to the machinery, working areas around the machinery should be defined. It should be marked properly. Then, if some dangerous procedures are there, safety norms like personal protective equipment should be provided, and it should be the work should be done by the young people so that there are less chances of accidents. Where lifting of machinery, chain ropes, lifting tackles are there, they can be used wherever necessary. There should be proper flooring, stairs, or even roof, height of the roof. All these things should be maintained properly. Protection of eyes, hands, skin, head, all these things should be taken into consideration. Where explosives are used or inflammables are there or dust or gas is there, at that time proper precautions should be taken or proper safety norms should be followed over there, and precautions related to fire should also be taken into consideration by having proper fire and safety precautions. Then provisions related to the welfare of the workers. A separate welfare officer, full-time welfare officer, should be appointed by the organization where more than 500 workers are working. Restrooms should be provided. Rest centers should be provided where more than 150 workers are there. Washing facility should be provided to the workers. Canteen is again one of the important places where the workers need to go. Specifically, it should be available where the number of workers is 250 or more. Ambulance is also one of the requirements where ambulance can be provided uh, where the number of workers is more than 500. Then safety officer should be appointed where there are more than 1000 workers. And lastly, creches means a nursery for the babies or young children uh, where more than 30 or 30 women workers are there, so that their care should be taken and proper child care is there. We call it as babysitting or nursery. So these are some of the important provisions in this act related to the welfare of the workers. Let us talk about different provisions related to working hours. Uh, According to this act, there should not be work more than 9 hours continuously, and if it is there, then obviously there should be an interval after continuously work of 5 hours. Then for adults, there should not be means more work than 48 hours a week. For children and women, it's 45 hours per week. It should not be more than that. And for children and women, there is one specific recommendation provision, like they should not be allowed to work in the evening, say after 7 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning. Then there should be one weekly holiday once in a week. It can be decided any day as per the convenience of the organization. So let us recap the things that we have discussed. What we have discussed today, we have talked about what is Indian Factory Act. We have seen the need for Factory Act, why Factory Act is necessary, how it supports the employees. Importance, we have also talked about different definitions in this act, different legal terms used in this act. We have talked about different provisions in the act like health, safety, welfare, working conditions, and different facilities of the workers. So I think you might have understood all this. Thank you very much for your patient listening. I would like to know your feedback and comments on this presentation. You can leave your feedback either at my email ID or you can leave it at my phone number. Thank you very much. Happy learning.